Yes! Alright, hey guys! What's happening over here? Everybody all over the world. Tell me where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite sandwich? Let me know. Let me know. I just gotta double check my store that everything is perfect in line on what we need to do. Awesome. Okay, so let me show you what I've done so far to make our canvas look the way it does, right? We took our 15-inch by 30-inch canvas. It's like a very panoramic scene out here, right? Covered in our liquid clear, and then added blue, phthalo green, phthalo blue, phthalo green, phthalo blue, phthalo green, phthalo blue, phthalo green, phthalo blue, right? All over the place, wherever you want it to be. Now, let's get out here and do something friggin' nuts. Come over here into our white paint. Over here, remember, you can go to PaintWithJosh.com if you want to grab this painting. You gotta be the first one there. But you can do it. What if we came over here like this? Just all of a sudden, right, we're gonna start making our circles, starting to spin our brush like this, and then all of a sudden, kaboosh, up into the sky. This crazy color out there, right, wherever we want it to be. It's gonna blend down just a little. It's got all the teal blue colors as we roll through, guys. It's gonna be really neat, right? We'll come over here, start mixing it up, and then we're gonna move right to left just so you can see it as it ignites. Let the colors ignite. Paint with Josh, it's a glorious sight, or whatever they say. I don't know. I can't remember all the lyrics. Man, right? The more you push on it, the more it's gonna blend away. So you decide how soft you want it to be. Maybe you want to have a little flat bottom out on the bottom, so you push a little harder in there, right? Scrape it up a little bit. You choose what it's going to look like for your painting, right? That's the best part about these kind of paintings. You guys, come over here and get a little bit more of our white. Over here, we can do the same thing, right? We can even start, you can come around it, you can go underneath it, just get up into that underside, right? Just making our little circles, going all crazy, depositing our paint out here. Spreading out, getting longer, down to this little tip. Whoop, just the tip, guys. Way down there. And then we're going to take our brush again, start mixing it up. We don't want to over mix it because we don't want all the color to be the same, right? We want it to have our blues, our greens, all these little things, just like our cloud above. Push on it a little harder, however you want it to look, right? You get to decide. All up to you. No one else out there. No one's going to be sitting right next to you and going, excuse me, your clouds shouldn't look like that, right? And if they are, you send them to old Uncle Paint with Josh, and I'll set them straight for you. Hey, no one's going to be out here telling you that you can't do it. So, do it, right? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We're going to have loads of fun out here. A little bit of our white onto our palette knife and out here into the night. Just a far off little contrail of an airplane. Way off in the distance, right? Couple swipes one way, one long swipe the other way, just to soften it down, and then you have to mix it up behind that cloud. Push it back behind the cloud back there. It's a very cool little thing. Very neat, guys. Now, let's get into what we want our water to look like. And in my mind, I'm imagining we're looking at it through like a panoramic thing, right? You know, have you ever done it where you take your phone, you go all the way around wherever you're at, and then it takes this thing and puts it into our little scene right here. So let's get out here with our white. And let's just say, maybe for this guy, we'll bring out the old yardstick. Remember how we used to make oceans with this guy? We'll put it way out there. You guys got to tell me if it's straight, though. Is it straight? Is it not? That's more like it, right? Like this, guys? Is that straight? Like that? Perfect, right? No. Okay. Get it up here, just about right about there, guys. Now, hello, somebody just grabbed this painting. We don't know who it is out there, but somebody did it. Now, we're going to hold our little guy, right, taking it out here, very soft little line, out into the night. Into the night. Way off there, guys. Woo, baby. Uh-oh. Mac Attack came in and nabbed this one up, you guys. So you can't have it anymore because Mac already nabbed it for you, right? Now remember, way out here, everything's going to get very much rounded, right? So we're gonna start adding little things. Let's toss off some color back here just to see what it's gonna look like, right? A couple little bits, bang. Little things out there, let's make it grow with our brush. I haven't done one of these guys in a long time. Push on it a little harder, spread it a little further, right? There we go. Now we can start seeing, maybe we should get a smaller brush because maybe, just maybe, we can start seeing some little dips and humps and all sorts of things on this guy, right? Over there, over here, we got another one. Over to that side, over to this side, right? You can see it as long as you do these little things, just like we used to do when we were kids, literally making waves like that, right? Filling in these little guys off of our one side, off of this side, and it goes back over here. It doesn't need to go too crazy, and your dips don't need to be too humongously huge, right? Just like that. We're gonna fill it in. Boom, boom, boom. Not everywhere's got to be perfectly the same, right? We're gonna lose paint as we go off to the edge anyway, but that looks pretty cool, guys. Looks pretty cool. Okay. Now, let's come in and let's throw in some other bits, right? So we need to get our white onto our brush. And in order to push those pieces backward, right, we need to plop something in front of them. So maybe where the dip comes up, where you get your highest point in your little dip there, is where we're gonna need to put our next little wave. Come down like that, right? Down over this side. Doesn't need to be so crazy, but we need to have enough where we can take it and start sliding it backwards. Working it away and away and away and away and away. Right? Leaving it very light little touches on our brush. Craziness. A little bit of craziness. Come off of this side, leave it down and down and down and down and down again. Right? And our water looking like it's coming towards us, guys. Towards us and towards us and towards us. Maybe if we come up from this side, dip down again. Start going off in a little flatter motion though for these guys because they're starting to get more of that rounded away look. So these ones should be a bit bigger, should be a bit brighter, in my mind anyway. These guys over here should be a little bit smaller, leading off to almost nothingness. That way we'll have all the details right here as they're coming up towards us, right? Now, this is looking so cool. If we put our whole little guy back in here and we start feeding it back, right? This is just no paint on the brush, just to show you what it'll look like. And see what we want to do. Again, very flat, feeding it flat into the guy. Flat, 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 flat. You can decide what you want it to look like, right? All up to us. This guy's gonna come out a little bit more. This is like our little foamy shininess that's hanging out on the water. Now, in order for it to look perspectively right, we need to start coming down. If this is gonna be the middle of where our water is, we need to start changing our angle up a little bit. So far as to literally go like that, where it's coming at you, right? So you have to have some part coming down, some parts going out and leading down this way, right? Different little things that are feeding backwards and up into our little guy like that, right? Does that look like it would be? Kind of looks cool to me. Same thing off of this one. Right? We're just going to get flatter and flatter and flatter as these little bits go out. See how much fun it is to play around, right? If we didn't come out here and play around every once in a while, we wouldn't know what to do with stuff. Right? You gotta get out there and play around. Now, let's take our little line, pop this guy back in here, just adding a little bit of excess paint so we have the front of our water and you can actually tell it's the front of the water. Slide it back like that. This guy's gonna go right along the front, being very flat. Now, I'm gonna start feeding it up this way, just making sure that our line out here in the front is very firm. Okay. It's like the water's like, might need to be more on an angle down here. Okay. And that way it's feeding up and back and around. Back. Oh, that looks really cool. Ooh, Mackie, what do you think? It's looking pretty neat so far. That water's just spreading out. Just fun, fun, fun. We're just messing around, right? Just playing around a bit. Seeing what looks cool, maybe what to try next, maybe what to teach next, right? Not necessarily teaching on this one too much. Because beyond kind of showing you and telling you what I'm doing, right? We're just playing around. Come down here, and wiggle it. Maybe it comes out a little bit further, right? Because they're not going to all be exactly the same. Drag that guy back, taking all that paint with it. pull it in, feed it backwards. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, I like it. Mac, what do you think, dude? Where is my Mac Squatch? This should be a tutorial now? Oh, great. Well, lucky for me, more work for Josh. I get to go in and make it a tutorial for you guys. Fabulous. I love that for me. Just loving that for me. Out here, very flat. Very flat, right? I always tend to mess around and play around and stuff, and a lot of times it's literally trying to find new things to paint, new ways to paint, to teach you guys to paint, right? All these little things. It's all for you guys. I don't do this stuff for myself. I'm out here for you guys, man. You guys. That's what I'm out here for. You guys out there in the night. In the night. Come out here a little bit further. We can extend. Shrink it back. Maybe come out a little bit further again. What are we trying to do? We're trying to leave this little dark separation right there. We don't want that to go away. That's our shadow, right? From all of the light, that's the shadow, those little dark sections. Don't get rid of them, okay? This is very cool though. Very cool. Might need a little bit more color over there, just a touch, a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And remember, whatever you don't like, let's go back and soften. You can blend in a way. You can do whatever you want to do. Again, pulling back up in those angles, opposite of the way that I laid them down. So on this side, I've got to come over here. And I'm going to start throwing it off this way, right? Dragging it up towards the thing instead of plopping your brush down and leaving a big fat mark like that, Josh. Come over to this side, over the edge, pulling it back, trying not to connect the colors. We don't want the colors to connect, right? It's our one big thing. Don't let the colors connect. Okay? Now, let's go make some sand out of all this nonsense. All this nonsense with our sandiness. Okay, now, this is sort of inspiration from my trip down to Heceta Beach. And at Heceta Beach, right, if you were looking at it like this and you took your panoramic picture, way the heck out here would be a very small little lighthouse. Now, whether or not we put the lighthouse in, all it would really be, all you can really visually see from this far away with the lighthouse over there is literally when the lighthouse turns right towards you and blinks. So it's like one little flash of a blink. So I'm going to ask Mr. Mac, do you want the flashing, blinking eye, right? Which, if you don't know the beach, if you don't know the scene, if you don't know, and you're just looking at the painting, it might look odd that there's a super bright light over there, just a dot of brightness, you know what I mean? But that's literally what it looks like when you're standing on the beach out there. So Mac, what do you think? Mac Squatch. This one's coming out real cool. I like it. It's all about perspective, guys. Perspective, 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 man. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? I trust you, he says. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? So we got our one that's not dead center in the middle, because this is the middle of my canvas right here. So it's not right in the middle. We got our two guys going off, another two guys going off, thing over here. So it doesn't have, I mean, this is a little extra piece. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical is what I'm trying to say. Let's get out here with our white, and let's throw down some sand in this sweet little ocean painting, okay? I'm going to tell you a simple little way to throw some sand down, but I need you to answer me honestly. Can you do that one time? 3 times. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? So stick around for 1 minute. I ask you 3 questions in 1 minute. That won't take you very long. But I need to know if you're going to be honest with me. So type in the comments, yes or no. Are you going to be honest with me when I ask you these questions, yes or no? All I got to know, right? Nothing personal, all about painting, right? But I got to know, are you going to answer me honestly? Lighthouse, please, he says. Killing me. You're killing me, Mac. Danielle says no. That's it. Everybody who says no, we're booting you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to turn this blank space into sandy beach, right? With your help. Right here. Very first step, we're going to come in and we're going to start depositing some white paint onto the sand, quote unquote, staying about 1/4 inch underneath our other bit of color, right? We're going to continue to do this until our canvas is fully covered from side to side, wherever your sand is. Bang, right? Doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. We did on this side, but you don't have to. Your other brush is going to make it go all the way to the bottom, so don't worry. Right? Leave it all random like that. Now, this is question number 1. Doesn't this look like sand? Answer me honestly. Honestly now. Does it look like sand? Yes or no? I'm just looking for one little word. And I hope that all you guys are going to say no, because to me, it does not look like sand, right? No, 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 no. Thank you guys for all answering honestly, okay? So I told you we got to do 3 things in order to make this look like sand. First things first, we have to pull it down. Then we have to, in this case, swipe it in each direction from this center point and then back, or vice versa, right? So you got to tell me when I come to that. Very first thing we're going to do, no questions from you guys. We're going to pull down on this brush with this paint, right? Literally, bang, pulling it off the canvas. Lots of pressure. Pushing on it real hard. Boom, 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 right? Throwing it down off of the canvas. Now, here comes your next question. After I finish doing this, does this look like sand? Yes or no? All I'm asking you to answer me honestly. Does that look like sand? Yes or no? Okay? And then I'm going to ask you one more side question that I fibbed on. We got lots of no's. Lots of no's. We got one yes. And not yet, they say. I need one of these now. Who said that? Cat. That's funny. Okay, so again, thank you guys for answering honestly. Okay? Out here, I would expect you guys all to say no as well, because we've only done 1 out of the 3 items it takes to make it look like sand. Now, next question, right? If it doesn't look like sand, what does it look like? What would you say it looks like? Answer that. Riddle me this. What would you think it looks like? Maybe like the edge of a waterfall, and it's like falling down. The water's coming out this way, it's falling down the thing. Maybe it's an aurora borealis if it was up in the sky, right? Might look like an aurora. Kind of looks like waterfall. An iceberg, that's a new one. Some cliffs, some waterfalls. I feel you guys, I feel you, right? Here's your second part of the question on how to make sand. Are we going to pull our brush away from the center, right? Away first, and then scoot it back in. Or are we going to push towards it first, and then scoot it back away from the wave, right? So that's all I want to hear. All I want you to type out, away or towards. Away or towards. Which one are we going to do first? We have to do both. Okay, it's not like one or the other. We have to do both of them. But which one are we going to do first? Because it makes a big frickin' difference which ones we do first, you guys. We got away, 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 towards, away, diagonally. Mac, kick Mac out. Somebody get Mac Squatch out of here. He's had enough. Cut him off. He's had enough. I'm just kidding. Don't get rid of Mac. Away. Come sail away, come sail away, come and sail away with Josh. No? All right. Let's take it, let's just imagine, right? We've been talking about these dark separators in our painting the whole time since we've been talking about the clouds, right? Keeping the colors from touching themselves, you have to have, it sounded bad and it sounded fun. You have to have some space in between those clouds, otherwise the cloud just looks like all one cloud, right? If there was no break in between, just look like one massive cloud out there. Same thing with the water. Since we're only using 2 colors, if we don't keep those colors separated, even from their own selves, the green to the green, right? Both of those bits of water would look like they were the same, and it just doesn't look right. So you got to keep those separators. And the only way to keep it, if we pull in towards the wave first, that's going to immediately get rid of that little break in our color. It's going to blend the 2 colors together, it's going to be gone. So let's take it, let's pull away with the same amount of hard pressure, right? Lots of pressure, sliding it away, 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 away. Now doesn't that look more like wet Shandy Beach than it did before? And you can be honest, you can still say no, right? It's not gonna hurt my feelings, but painting's dry now, it's funny. All right, we're gonna slide it away from our wave first, that's the key. Away, 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 right? Turning it into this sandy, wet, saturated looking thing, right? Like magic. And now, in order to fix this little disconnect right here, right? We wanted to keep it, just make it smaller, just a little smaller. So now we pulled away from the wave, now we gotta push into the wave, very lightly, with no extra paint on the brush, just whatever you got on your canvas already, and just sneak it in and leave that little bit of a line, that little darkness, right? We're talking about going from like a 1/4 inch down to a 32nd of an inch, like so stinking small. over there, over there, over there. Just straight sideways until you reach your area, right? The smaller the lip, the cooler it looks, right? Oh, yes. Then we're going to come back and add some watery details and stuff. But just like that, you see the difference between the two, right? Which one would you want? Which one would you make, which one would you choose if it was your painting? You're like, oh, this looks like it's really high up off of the sand now, right? Like its elevation is way high versus this guy's way nice, flat, just rolling and puttering on the sand. Isn't that just so neat? You've helped me so much with my art and oil painting. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. I love you, bud. Let's see. Right side has dimension to it, right? Because, watch this. Come in here. I'm going to slide that color in. Back up very close, about as close as we can get. Ooh, just so close in there, right? Come off of this side, slide it back in, slide it back in, slide it back in. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, just like that, guys. Get this awesome little bit. Now we have that like inch or two of foam that's rolling on the sand back and forth as our waves are coming in and out. Very cool. Very, very cool, guys. Whoops. There we go. Now, let's get crazy, boy. We're going to need a little bit of our liquid white to make everything nice and watery and wet looking. Right? Without the liquid white, it's hard to make it all wet looking. Look at the difference in these paints right here. I'm trying to get real close without stepping on my tripod. Would be nice. The difference, very thick icing, right? It is wet, even though it looks like a big old dry pile. It is wet. You can see it, right? Oh, there's some paint right there. And so it is wet paint. And this is much more wet, much more watery, much more runny kind of a paint that you can then get out here underneath your little dry, your dark separations, right? Out underneath there, drop a little bit of that liquid white on here, okay? The liquid white not only acts as our water, but our wet maker, like our, you ever heard the moon raker? This is the wet maker, right? This is my nickname on the side. Hey, over here, take a little bit more of our brush. Out here, the wet maker on the side. Okay, now watch. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Old Paint with Josh's nickname. Hey, over here, very lightly, very lightly. There's not a lot, so we don't want to push too much, right? Same thing right in here. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing. Gonna keep going, gonna keep going, gonna keep going. Keep going and going and going until you guys tell me to stop. Are you gonna tell me to stop? Anybody? Anybody out there gonna tell me when to stop? No? Look at how much more wet it looks, especially when you come back with just a few little side swipers. Right? That liquid white paint is a more wet paint than our thicker titanium white, so it will look a little bit more sheeny. Right? That Sheen. Who orders from Sheen? Like my daughter. She orders literally everything from Sheen. If it's on Sheen, my kid has it. I'm not even kidding. Right? That wetness. The wetness underneath. See that? Now when we come across it with our liquid white water lines, it's really going to look cool. Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom. Admitted crazy boo. You're nuts. My stuff, okay, I have some innuendos, right? I throw some innuendos out there. But the majority of it go right over the little kids' heads anyway. So, I tend to think that I'm more, at least a lot of people say, like, oh, why does he talk to us like we're 5 years old? Because I don't swear all the time, apparently. But, in any case, come down here with that liquid white on top of our water now. We're going to leave a few little bits of, like, foaminess as it's whipping up. Rolling up our wave. Oh, a couple little things, right? We don't want to have too many little details out here in the night. A couple little guys are coming up and going from both directions, leading up the sides of the wave. Drop this guy out down here. Wherever we want him to be, we get to put it. That's the best part about it. We get to do whatever it is that we want to do. Drop it onto there, come down, come out a little further, come down, come out a little further. Right? Where do you want that lighter color to be? It's all it is. Literally it. Take it, roll your knife up backwards like that. Zip, zap, zoop. Dragging some little things, little sparklies in the night, right? If you do too many of these, it loses its effect. You want to just have a couple out there. They're kind of feeding back going up into our waves. That foamy stuff is supposed to be everywhere. It's like, but if you paint it everywhere, then you're gonna paint too much of it, right? It's gonna be too messy and too wet on our canvases to really paint it the way that nature wants you to paint it, right? Out here we have less details, so you can push on a little harder. All your action is right here in the front. It's where everyone's gonna be looking, I'm telling you. If I ain't done told you once, I done told you a million times. Right? We get to do whatever we want to do, guys. Out here, you can bring it down a little bit lower if you wanted to. Right? Just remember to keep that dark separation out there. Now, here's my favorite part. Okay, the part that really just seals the deal for me are these little wet, watery bits that we can throw out there and drag a little bit back. Right? It's going to be awesome. Again, liquid white, titanium white. Say we're out here and we just start scooping these things back in. We get popped out a little bit further onto our sandy beach, right? Little things. Smaller back here, like shorter. Not so much. Doesn't have to fully connect, remember? Little things back there. Really pushing hard on the knife so you don't drop a whole lot of paint. Up here, we gotta have a few more crazy details. So we need more paint on our knife. Come down like this. Boom, 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 right? You're grabbing it and sliding it wherever you want it to be. Doesn't all have to match up, and we're gonna take some of it and lead it back towards our wave, okay? So, have a good amount of it out here on the edge so you can have something to grip onto as you slide it back, right? Oh man, look at that painting, you guys. I can drag this guy over here and over there. Woo! Mac always knows when we're practicing when it's going to be a good one and when it's not, I guess. He's got the power! Drag it back, little things, again, off the side. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to match perfectly out there. If you've ever been to the beach, it's a madhouse. It's a madhouse of a mess. Oh man, that's cool. That is cool. Cool, guys. Over there. Boom, 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 boom. Little things. Little bits. Here and there. Everywhere. All the way down to that edge if you wanted to. Little guys. Looks like it's going to fall out of our, off the canvas and add into my living room. Onto my studio floor, guys. You heard a Studio 50 floor. Mine will be a studio painted floor. Alright, that was lame. I'll give it to you. It was. We'll work on it and we'll get back to you. Not my best work. Okay, let's get out here with a little bit of white, our liquid white, onto our brush. Let's start popping in just a couple little bits of brightness, some little things out here. Maybe some bit of water as it's starting to get all tumultuous and crazy. They start drooping over the edge. Nothing out there is going to just be this perfect thing. So don't let it be. I like having a couple little weird things happening down here. A couple little dabs, maybe drag it backwards. This water, it's breaking up, it's rolling, it's all over the place, man. Woo, that looks cool. A couple little drags on this side. Make sure you're very horizontal down here, though. I'm telling you. Don't want to get crazy. Oh, man, alive. Look at this painting. Shoo, guys. I dig it. I dig it all the way back there. Oh, that's so cool. So cool. So you guys need to come up with a title for Max Squatch's painting. Right? The old Squatch Mac, or Max Squatch. I'm dyslexic sometimes. We're going to get a little bit of our stars just out here into the sky. Bang. Into the distance, you guys. That looks wicked. Maybe we'll throw a couple little spray bits, like, just along. You know what I was really noticed at the beach yesterday? At least at the Oregon beach. There's a lot of waves crashing against the water, against the rocks all the time. And what that does is not only make a lot of foam, but it produces a lot of mist in the air, right? And so if you look back and you can catch it going, it's going away from the ocean and flowing up into the trees that are on the coast. Oh, it's so beautiful, you guys. but there's this constant mist because the water is just constantly splashing and exploding. It's so cool. So little things that you pick up on, like had I not been a painter and I just went down to the beach, might not have ever noticed that, right? But you start picking up on different things when you paint. Like, ooh, look at that cloud. Look at that tree. Ooh, oh, look at those waves. That'd be kind of cool to try to redo that, you know what I mean? And that's when you get the bug. You get hooked in, guys. You gotta lock in, like Tyler says. I don't know if I'm just old or if that's like a kid thing, but I heard it from a young guy, so I'm just attributing it to a young person thing, and I'll just take the old route. I didn't know what FOMO meant. You guys know what that means? Anybody out there? I'll show you how old Paint with Josh is. Do you know the acronym FOMO? F-O-M-O. Okay, that's all. That's all I'm gonna ask. Because I just recently figured it out of what it means, and you might be surprised actually in what it means. You might be surprised. So, does anybody out there in TikTok land know what this FOMO is? Because I'm going to tell you right now. I'll tell you. Lighthouse with the bat symbol, Mac? You're crazy. The bat symbol. I couldn't put the bat symbol out there. See, look, these younger people know. Yeah, fear of missing out. Right. I didn't know that. I was like, whoa, what is this FOMO? I don't understand this FOMO business. But you guys. Yeah, fear of missing out. Kind of ridiculous. All right, guys. Dab off the old brush. Let me spin you guys around real quick. Just real quick. Cannot give you a lighthouse with a bat symbol back. Who do I look like? Batman? Am I the bat? Am I the Batman? Look at that, dude. Oh, man. Indigo Borealis. I like that. Isn't indigo purple, though? In any case, I like it. I like it either which way. I'll make this thing so it's straight. Here we go. The wave is the bat. Holy moly, you guys. I like it. It came out really cool. Really cool if you're asking me. Just if you're asking me. The tide's coming in. It's got to be something about the tide coming in, right? Right in the night. Bat wave and What are you guys doing out there in TikTok land? What is going on? What in the world is happening with you guys out there? Now, I plan on, right, if anyone out here is, or anyone out there watching is an Oregonian, pisses off Oregonians if you say Oregonian. If anyone out there is an Oregonian, then you've been to Heceta Head Lighthouse, right? And Heceta Head Beach, where they have that little cove. I'm going to paint that sucker here soon. I'm going to paint it soon. So, I got to practice my right hand crashing waves for that guy. Na 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 bat wave. That's a cool title, but I'm not writing na 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 bat wave. I mean, we could do that. You're in Oregon Ink Addiction? No shit. We go on at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then usually 7 p.m. The first show normally only lasts an hour. Today it lasted 96 minutes, and so the second show was then subsequently pushed back another 36 minutes before we started. I usually need about an hour in between, but we start at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and then again at 7 most nights. So it's usually 5 to 6 is the show time, right? We're on between 5 and 6, and then usually between 7 and 8. Today, again, I didn't start until 8 West Coast time, so that's why we're still here at 8:39 Normally not working this late, but get all of our shows done. But yeah, does this remind you, you Oregonians or Oregonians? Again, it pisses off Oregonians when you say Oregonian. I'm an Oregonian. But does this remind you guys of like Heceta Beach? When you go out there by Driftwood Shores Resort, you know, that little hotel, and they got like beach access like right there. Like, oh, do you see that when you look at this picture? Because that's where I was yesterday. And sort of came through in the paintings. Boom! Oh, looks so cool. I love the coloration, the clouds. Max just got to pick a title, man. He's just got to pick a title out of all these titles. The titles. He's got to pick a title so we can name his painting. Whole. What number are we on again? 1528. I think we're on 1528. Pretty sure. Oh, I laughed so hard. I almost passed out. Good. That's what I meant for you to do. Is that the real title? The noise from the lights, just like just that silence, quote unquote. So that is the title. Holy wet maker, Batman! You guys are crazy, dude. You guys are crazy. Wet. Is it one word? No, it's two words. Okay. Holy wet maker, Batman. You guys are fucking nuts. Nuts! Alright. I am the wet maker. 10, 19, 2023. We're all going to go to PaintWithJosh.com because it's one of the best websites of all time. Let me just tell you that.